Yo, what is up, everybody? It is X-Fixes. We're back again with another banger of a video, guys. And today, we're here with Barato again. Say what's gooch.
What's guac?
Right there. It says like. Smash that like button.
It doesn't light up though. You need to get it to light up because
It
they
does
can't
light
see
up,
that.
but I need.
They can't see that.
batteries.
They can't see that at all.
Alright, so today we're here with the Wrestlemania 36 Night 2 recap and prediction results.
Let's start off by saying I thought WrestleMania on the whole was very good.
Yeah, it was a good WrestleMania.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like WrestleMania, but with the circumstances, it wasn't really going to. And I think that with the mindset that most of us had going in, I think it pretty much met or exceeded those expectations. So
I would have to agree. By the way, sorry for the low frames. You know, we're dealing with what we got here.
we're trying to experiment with some stuff, okay? Experimenting here.
Alright, sorry if I seem a little off. I have a headache, but whatever. So, with the first match of the night,
We had the pre-show, which was boring. That's how the pre-shows usually are. We had Liv Morgan going up against Natalia. Nothing really to write home about. There wasn't even anything noteworthy. Liv
no.
Morgan got the pin. And yeah. We went into tonight's show with a 9-7 lead.
9-6.
No, it was 9-7. You were 2 points behind.
Oh.
What was it, 9? Did you have 9? Or did you have 7 or 9?
I had. Oh, it was 9-12.
No. It was either 9-11 or 9-7. I know I was 2 points ahead of you. Actually, I could just count up how many points I got in this show. That was 3. It doesn't matter. I was a few points ahead. We'll get into the results later. So yeah, that was the pre-show. They for some reason played the exact same intro for WrestleMania. They had another video from Steph, and they had the same stuff from Gronk. Nothing interesting. And then the show opened with Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's Championship. You want to talk about this match?
So basically,
Women's Championship. You want to talk about this match?
So basically, you know, they were going at it. Charlotte was off to a quick start, attacking Rhea Ripley's leg as she had previously been injured, or I guess you could say it was hurt, and she kept attacking it. And then Rhea Ripley kind of like found a way to kind of counter Charlotte, was doing some damage, and then Charlotte just started doing submission holds that Rhea Ripley was able to get out of some of them, and then the figure eight got locked in, and Charlotte was able to submit Rhea Ripley for the NXT Championship.
Both women did really good. Neither of them looked weak. Rhea put on a good performance, and she didn't really seem like an embarrassment.
No.
Unlike Shayna Baszler in the Raw Women's match.
Yeah, that match was
But I liked it. I had a hard for both opening matches for both nights. I had a really hard time getting into the show itself because I didn't. It's so weird without a crowd.
Yeah.
And it takes a little bit to get used to it, even though we already had a night before that didn't have a crowd. So I think the match for me kind of suffered because of it, but I can still separate the crowd factor and still recognize that this was a good match that made both women look good. For that pre-show match, I would give it a 2 stars. This match, I'd probably give like 3.5. It was good.
Pre-show, I'd give 1.5. This, I would give 3.
With the next match, we had Aleister Black versus the almighty Bobby Lashley. This match was kind of weird. Bobby was tossing around Aleister Black for a while, and then he went to go do like his
slam thing.
Yeah, his flip slam thingy, and Lana was like, "No, spear him, Lashley." And so like he blew her a kiss, runs to Black for the spear, And then Black Mask, 1, 2, 3.
And let me say, I got that 100% right.
Yeah, you got 3 points for that.
Had Aleister Black winning by pinfall, and then my extra was Lana tries to help Bobby Lashley, and it backfires.
It wasn't an amazing match. I'd give it like a 2.5, maybe.
Yeah, 2.5. For sure.
You want to talk about the next match?
So the next match was...
Stop playing with that.
Which one was it?
It was... I believe it was the Street Profits.
No, that one was later.
Are you sure?
Oh, what was it? It wasn't Edge. It was...
I'm pretty sure it was...
Let
No.
me see.
Wait a minute. I don't honestly remember. Oh, it was Otis.
Otis and Dolph Ziggler. Okay. So for those that don't know, Otis is my favorite wrestler right now. Okay. So he's having a feud with Dolph Ziggler. Because Dolph Ziggler stole Mandy Rose from Otis.
Please stop messing with
I
that.
am. Jeez Louise. So Mandy Rose and Dolph got together, and then the hacker revealed that Dolph Ziggler and
Sonya Deville.
Sonya
I can't
Deville.
believe that you watched this whole WrestleMania without knowing half of the people's names.
And Deville were making a plan. So when Sandy left to go see Otis on the date, Sandy
Man. Sonya,
I meant
Sandy.
Sonya went to Sandy's phone and started typing to Otis, "I'm gonna be late," so that Otis would show up late too, so that Dolph Ziggler could come in and have a date with Mandy Rose. Then, during the WrestleMania match, Otis and Ziggler were fighting, and Dolph Ziggler got a cheap shot on Otis with Sonya's distraction to the referee. Then Mandy Rose comes out, slaps Sonya Deville, beats her up, goes into the ring, nut shots Dolph Ziggler, and then Otis wins, and then Otis and Mandy Rose are now together.
And they made out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was everything that we kind of wanted from the match. And yeah, it was enjoyable. I'd give it a 3 stars.
Me too. 3 stars.
Yeah. I believe after that, we had the Falls Count Anywhere match. Or no, the Last Man Standing match between Edge and Orton. Now I've got a few words about this match. The match on the whole, I think, was good. There wasn't really any... Okay, I'll take that back. I was going to say, there's no boring parts. I do think that there was a middle section that was kind of boring when they were in the ringside area, and then they were in this office room. That was kind of boring, and for the most part, they were just throwing each other into walls and stuff. The tension was there, I think. The beginning was really good.
Yeah.
And the ending was really good. But the match was so long. It was over half an hour. And it felt like it dragged. I couldn't get hyped for this match halfway through because it just kept going on and on. If it was like half as long, this could have been like the best match on the night. But I couldn't get behind it because it was just so long. I was also kind of disappointed because they were... There was an interesting spot. I don't know if you remember it. When Randy went to go get the chairs, he walked under that big ladder. So it was kind of like bad luck. That's how he lost the match. So that's kind of funny. But at the same time, did you guys see how big that ladder was? I'm kind of upset that wasn't used for the finish. Like, they didn't have some sort of platform that they could have landed on where they did like a giant superplex off of it. Because that ladder was like
Huge.
Like 20 to 30 feet tall. That thing was stupid tall. The Concerto finishing the match. I mean, they've been using it so many times. It makes sense to at least have the spot in there. To finish it, maybe. I don't really know how to feel about this match.
I loved it. Nothing much to say. He pretty much covered it all. 4 stars for me.
I'm gonna go 3.
Okay. The next match we had was the women's fatal 5-way. No, it wasn't. Street Profits.
I think it was.
It was the Street Profits.
You're right. Yep.
The Street Profits match. Nothing crazy. Just a quick match. I don't really have much to cover on it. I would give it a 2.5.
It was a decent match that had the right ending because it was the ending that I predicted, and we had the maybe debut onto the main roster of Bianca Belair. Blake had Bianca Belair attacking Charlotte after the NXT women's match. So seeing her after the Raw Tag Team match, helping out her boyfriend or husband, I don't remember who it is. Yeah, I think that kind of grinded his gears a little bit.
And the fact that Christian returned and he didn't give me the
No, he did not return. He did not return. And by the way, that picture that you sent me was of last WrestleMania, so shut up.
I know. Okay, next match. Go ahead.
I believe it was the women's fatal 5-way match for the SmackDown Women's Championship with Bayley defending her title against Sasha Banks. Not Dana Brooke. Why do I keep thinking it's Dana Brooke? Man, no.
Tamina,
Sasha Banks, Lacey Evans, and Naomi.
Okay. I got screwed out of the point again.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did. I had Sasha Banks helping what's her name to win.
And you specifically said that your extra was Paige entering yourself into the match, and I gave you the chance in the predictions video to change it, and you said nah.
Yeah, so I got screwed out of another point.
This becomes an important theme later on. Anyways, this was a pretty good match. You actually got all 3 points for this. No, you got 2 points for this match, and I got nothing.
Give me my turn.
So there were some good spots here. All the women teaming up on Tamina, and later on, all of them. I believe it was all of them pinning Tamina to get her out of the match. We saw Naomi and Lacey Evans trying to team up against Bayley and Sasha. Naomi eventually turned on Lacey. Naomi got eliminated. There was this, and this is where the great storytelling came into this. So where there was a spot where, I don't remember exactly what happened, but Bayley, Bayley was like, I think going to attack Lacey, in the corner, and I believe Sasha was up on the apron. And when Lacey ducked out of the way, Bayley hit Sasha. Later on, Sasha came back and she was arguing with Bayley, trying to be like, what the heck happened? I thought we were friends. I've had your back. And then Lacey Evans comes and tries to attack Sasha from behind. Bayley pushes Sasha out of the way, ducks under another attack from Lacey, and Lacey's able to get the women's right on Sasha. 1, 2, 3, Sasha's gone. And I was like, okay. So after I saw Sasha get eliminated, one, I was a little upset because I had Sasha winning the match. But I realized that this is going to be a slow build to the Sasha Bayley match, and I think it might happen at like SummerSlam instead. But yeah, they're gonna slowly build this feud, and the blow off wasn't going to be so quick. And I'm kind of happy about that. The match finished when Sasha Banks came back because it's no disqualifications and helped Bayley get the win
with the Banks statement.
Yeah, Banks statement into, I don't remember, it was like a knee strike. I don't know what Bayley's new finisher is. It's not the Bayley to Belly anymore. But yeah, Bayley was able to retain her title, and there was like a good moment where Bayley's just looking at Sasha. Sasha's just like being nice, strapped the title around Bayley's waist, kind of just walks out, let her have her moment. I like it. I'll give it a 3.5 stars. It was good.
I'm gonna agree with 3.5 as well.
So
the next match.
Now, I think he doesn't like this match.
No.
And I do.
Stupid.
It's kind of the opposite. He likes the Edge and Orton match and I don't, but I like this match and he doesn't.
Too stupid.
It was the Firefly Funhouse match between The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, and Jonathan Q. Cena.
I don't want to talk about it because it was so stupid. Like, John Cena did nothing. Unlike the Taker Styles match, that was entertaining.
But these were two totally different matches.
Stupid. This was too stupid.
These were two different matches trying to tell two different stories here.
Oh no.
So the whole concept of this Firefly Funhouse match that Bray was teasing at before the match started was that John Cena is going to face his toughest opponent, himself. It was the internal conflict that Cena had to face within himself that was the whole theme of the match. But let's start from the beginning. So I was concerned at first because there was John Cena coming out into the arena. And I was like, okay, so maybe they're going to spill out into the backstage at some point? And then John Cena eventually says, and welcome to WrestleMania. And immediately it cuts to Vince McMahon saying, welcome to WrestleMania, that iconic line. And it's like this warped imagery and all the sorts. And then we see the Firefly Funhouse. Bray Wyatt's there. He pretty much cuts that promo talking about Cena facing his toughest opponent himself. And he goes through the Firefly Funhouse like front door that they have. Eventually, Cena gets teleported into the Funhouse. And we see Ramblin' Rabbit be like, hey, dude, I saw Bray earlier. He went that way. So Cena goes through the door. And we start this craziness off with a recreation of John Cena's debut onto SmackDown.
Ugh.
Bray Wyatt was acting as Kurt Angle, saying he's issuing out the challenge, blah, blah, blah. And probably the most fan favorite part of this is that we cut to John Cena in his debut uniform, and there was the SmackDown fist there. And a whole bunch of people, I know everyone's happy about the SmackDown fist being there. Yeah, it was just a recreation of of John Cena debuting. There was parts where Bray was just like he was confused about what Cena was trying to do. Yeah. It's like, this is your biggest failure. What are you doing here, John? And John Cena over and over was just like, ruthless aggression, and kept trying to hit Bray.
And Bray would duck.
Bray kept ducking.
Yeah.
There was this really funny part where he started singing Nikki Bella's theme song. That was good.
Oh yeah, he was like, you can look, but you can't touch. And then he was like, ruthless aggression.
This eventually cuts over to Saturday Night Main Event, a little Saturday Night Main Event opening, and I think this was a reference to because how both of them were acting. It seemed like the Mega Powers. Bray in this situation was Hulk Hogan, and then he was like hyping up Randy Savage. So Bray was like sitting behind the old blue cage that they had back in the golden era of WWE. And he was just like saying, he was hyping up John Cena. John Cena comes in, he's got these weights. He's just going to town on these weights. He's pumping iron. Eventually he's like pumping the iron so much that then he eventually just can't move his arms. And he says something, and then I forget what Bray says here. He says, what you're going to do when something mania runs wild on you. I totally forget what it was. Then we cut to Dr. Thugonomics, John Cena. And I think this was the best part because it seemed like John Cena was it seemed like John Cena didn't know what was going on throughout this entire thing. And he was the most clear-headed in this. He was cutting a promo on Bray Wyatt about how he was given two golden goose of the WWE. Your chances are unlimited. That was a really good stuff. Eventually, John Cena tried swinging at Wyatt. Somehow, Wyatt was able to like teleport the lock off of Cena's neck, and he ties it up like Cena used to do on his fist, and he punches John Cena. And then probably the weirdest part, as if this match wasn't weird enough already, it cuts to WCW Monday Nitro. And I had multiple people talk about this, and I think it's sort of like this alternate scenario. If WCW had won the war, they were cutting back and forth between Eric Bischoff and Bray Wyatt, so I think he was trying to act like Bray Wyatt. Now he was acting like Hulk Hogan. Or Hollywood Hogan, I should say. So I don't know if this is like a reference to like if John Cena joined the NWO because WCW won the war, or if it was just him acting as Hulk Hogan. But that was an interesting part. So then the ending of the match came with Bray Wyatt acting as his old self, as like the cult leader thing. He cuts this promo. I don't really remember what he says, but John Cena eventually cuts back to John Cena in the ring with his WrestleMania 30 gear on, and Bray Wyatt. It's a callback to the spot where Cena has a chair in his hand and Wyatt is doing like his pose, and he's like, "You had a chance back at WrestleMania 30 to do the right thing. Make up for that." Cena goes to swing at him with the chair. He misses. And there was one point, I think I got the two confused. I think the WCW Monday Nitro thing happened after this. And Cena was beating the crap out of Wyatt, when in reality he was beating the crap out of Huskus the Pig. Then the Fiend appears behind him, gets him in the mandible claw, weakens him to the point where he hits Sister Abigail. Another mandible claw, 1, 2, 3. The Fiend wins, I guess? And then Cena disappears. It's so crazy and weird,
stupid,
but it's good because there's a deeper story behind this, and I can't wait for Smack. Hope they clarify on what this match was supposed to mean, because there's a whole bunch of symbolic stuff here. Bray is a very smart guy. He's an interesting guy, and pretty much this entire gimmick is just a whole bunch of references to like his past. And now he's bringing up John Cena's past. I think it's very interesting. I want to see what they do with this further. But anyways, I'll stop talking about that so we can talk about the main event.
2 stars.
Oh, I give it a 4 stars.
Next match was very stupid. Too stupid.
You didn't like it?
No. Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar. So this was a make or break situation for ya boy.
So let's talk about this because this is the end of the night.
So Brad was up 25 to 27.
No. Yes.
25 to 27. And the only reason why is because we basically tied the Fiend match.
But then John Cena disappeared, which I had predicted.
So he got a point ahead of me because he got no points for the women's match. I got 2. So we were 1 point apart, and then he got more points for the Fiend match. So he was up by 2 going into the main event. He said, "You know what? I'm gonna risk it." He said, "You can switch to Brock Lesnar."
Once again, I allowed him to switch his pick in the main event.
And I said, "You know what? I have to." He was like, "Because if you don't switch it, you don't have a chance to win." I was like, "All right, I'll switch it to Brock Lesnar by pinfall, and then at least 10 suplexes." Because I thought they were gonna drag this match out. I did not think it was gonna be a.
I thought it was going to go to 7:30 as well, our time, and it didn't.
So
that's my one complaint about this match is that it wasn't competitive. It was just like the Goldberg. It was like the Goldberg Lesnar or the Goldberg Strowman match. But you can go ahead and talk about it because I want to talk about why that match is different from this match.
So basically, Brock Lesnar went in and just started pouncing on Drew McIntyre.
Yep.
1 suplex, 2 suplex, 3 suplex. So at this point, I'm like, oh snap, Brock Lesnar's gonna hit 10 suplexes. I'm like, all right, let's go. Then he picks him up, F5, pins him, 1, kicks out at 1.
And I was like, oh, okay.
F5s him again, kicks out at 2.
So at this point, I was like, okay,
they're gonna.
This is when McIntyre's gonna reverse and he's gonna go for it. But then,
third F5, 1, 2, right before it hits 3, kicks out. Then McIntyre before this, didn't he hit a Claymore before this?
He did hit 1 Claymore.
Yeah,
and it did nothing.
McIntyre had already hit a Claymore, did nothing, kick out at 1. And then Brock Lesnar did all that with the F5s. Then 1 Claymore by McIntyre because Brock went to do another one and he reversed. Claymore kick. Claymore kick. Claymore kick. 1, 2, 3. McIntyre wins the match.
Now, many people are going to compare this to the Strowman and Goldberg match because it was just a lot of spamming of the finisher. It's a bit different.
This one was better.
Number one, because of who was a part of it. We had no build to Goldberg versus Strowman. No one was looking forward to this match because there was no build to it. It was a last-minute replacement, and honestly, no one really likes Goldberg right now, and we have no reason to care about Strowman. We're really behind McIntyre because of how they were able to build him. And more importantly, it's the unpredictability of Lesnar. When he hit that third F5, I was almost convinced for a second that they were going to have Lesnar retain the title. And that's why it's interesting. Because at WrestleMania 34, everyone was convinced that Roman Reigns is going to beat Brock Lesnar to win the Universal title. And Lesnar retained. So there's always this unpredictability about how a Brock Lesnar match is going to go. Secondly, they were able to build tension with the finishers. McIntyre hit a Claymore kick and it did nothing to the guy. Lesnar hit an F5 and McIntyre kicked out at 1, which was something that I don't think we saw up until this point. They were able to build tension with the finishers. It wasn't just a spamming of the finishers and then a pin. They were able to build tension with it. Yes, I think the match should have been more competitive because McIntyre has the capabilities to toss Lesnar around, and I think we should have saw that. We should have saw someone test Brock Lesnar like no one's tested him before. We've seen so many people spam finishers on him. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. That's the only reason that people can win for some reason against Lesnar, is if they spam their finisher. I was hoping that we would see something different. And it's kind of just the same formula over and over with Brock Lesnar. But it's the same formula over and over for a reason, because it's entertaining when Lesnar's in the ring. I give this match,
I'm going to give it a 3.
I want to say 3 or 3.5. I'm going to give it a 3.5 because I enjoyed it. But I think they could have done more. And I hope at SummerSlam there's a rematch between the two because I'd like to see something more from them.
And with that being said, the prediction results. Brad wins 29-25.
Woo!
So what's your thing? What are you doing with it? We have 2 little frames for that.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to do that. Half of the reason.
So what's your...
So, I am once again the winner of the predictions. And I'm awarded...
Keep in mind he watches it and I don't.
And I'm awarded 2 points. 2 points.
You have to say what it is.
Victory.
You can't not say.
Well, I don't know what I want.
How?
Because I don't really...
You were supposed to think ahead of time.
No. I'll be keeping these in my back pocket. I'll think about it later. But just know I have 2 victories. Now, I wanted to pose something to you. Would you like me to keep up with network subscriptions so that we can continue to do predictions and reactions videos for WWE pay-per-views? Because I know if I keep subscribing to the network, I know I will keep watching the pay-per-views.
I feel like it's only certain ones that I would watch.
Well, the next pay-per-view is Money in the Bank.
Yup. So those
and
Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Rumble, Chamber, and maybe a couple others.
We could also invite Hayden over for some of these.
That's true. Then yeah, why not? If you're willing to.
Well, all right then. I knew that Money in the Bank was next, and I knew that he would want to watch it. So I think we'll at least do an extra month for the.
Do you want to see if Hayden wants to join us in the Money in the Bank?
Yeah, we'll talk to him after this.
All right, cool.
Is there something else you want to tell them, Blake, or do you want to save it? Do you want to save the little surprise?
Oh.
Do you want to announce it?
Let's tell them. Ladies and gentlemen.
Let's pause a second here. Because like I've joked about before, this man has had multiple YouTube channels over the few years that he's been on YouTube. And what was the longest running one that you had? Or what was it on? What was the channel? What was it on? What channel was it on?
My last channel? Well, not my last channel, a couple channels. My last grind channel.
Which one was it though?
15,000 names. Let's just get that straight. I had 152 subscribers.
Oh, right. It was just the same channel. Okay.
Same channel, didn't have different channels.
And in the creation of this channel, this kid is, you know that he's been begging me to get a YouTube channel, but he's at least wanted me on the channel before. And we came up with a little series, WWE 2K19 Universe Mode. And we had some issues with it because we weren't very used to doing a series quite like it. But for what it was, I enjoyed doing it. Now, we know that 2K20 is already out. But that game is garbage. We're not playing 2K20. No. So I threw out the idea to Blake halfway through WrestleMania yesterday, and you are chewing on it. And you're twisting it up and you're breaking it. This kid, man. On his own channel.
Okay, just keep going.
Anyways, I'll let you announce it.
Me and Brad have decided 2K19 Universe is coming back.
I am excited for this.
We're doing a draft.
We will have a draft. Now,
I
want to state it now because we're not going to do an entire draft. I think it'll probably be like 20.
Let's do 20 superstars.
Just like how we do in GM mode. It would just be 20 guys. Afterwards, we'll probably fix our rosters a little more. We're switching championships. If we want to change championships, we can. I don't know how many championships I have unlocked though, because 2K19 you have to grind a lot to get tokens.
Really?
No, you have to grind for tokens. I don't remember what I bought though.
So let's tell them. Do you want to tell them what shows we're running?
No, we'll save everything for the live stream.
Okay,
This
guys.
is just the announcement.
Until then, which is today, right? Today.
Probably today.
We're out. Peace.
WrestleMania was great.
Botch.
Botchamania. Do.